Hi, my name is Bachochin of WPI Hunts the Truth. I formed a paranormal investigation team back in 2007 in southeast Wisconsin, and I actually was started off investigating the ghost phenomenon. But it wasn't until 2013 that all that changed. And basically, this took us everywhere. Everywhere our team went in the paranormal was either in abandoned houses, buildings, or cemeteries. This time we were in the Kettle, Moraine, and when we were out there was 4 of us out there. Something out in the distance seemed to sound almost simian, almost like a primate. And I never put a lot into the Bigfoot Sasquatch theory, especially here in southeast Wisconsin, but I wanted to find out what that was. And sure enough, since we weren't all outback jacks, as I like to say, we're not all animal experts, we went online and we looked at every soundboard of every animal call that's indigenous in southeast Wisconsin, and we could not find a match. And to me, it still sounded very like it had a voice box. It was really bizarre. So at that point, I thought maybe there was something to this Bigfoot thing. Who knows? I do pride myself into hunting the truth, and that is to be on the line, to be on the fence. Not so much a skeptic, but to have a little bit of an open mind, but still try to find out what this was. So we continued to go out in the Kettle Moraine, the southern unit. And there was this one afternoon, me and my wife actually went hiking. She wanted to hike just to hike in the snow because it was fun, a couple feet of snow. But me, I was always keeping my eyes and ears open for anything that could have been remotely Bigfooty, I would want to say. And sure enough, I come across these prints that are going across the path. At this point, Katie already hiked ahead of me about 50 yards up and around the bend, so I knew exactly where she was. And I'm looking at these prints, and at first I thought they were done by deer. Sometimes they'll put their hooves together, or a rabbit, the way they could pounce. But when I looked at it even closer, it resembled a foot. And after I noticed that one, I looked ahead and saw another one, and then another one. I could see from my distance. This was truly baffling. And at this point is when I document everything with photos and video. I start taking a video of these prints, and I start to pan up the kettle to see where they were coming from. Next thing you know, I'm hearing wood knocks up there. And I'm just like, at this point, wow, there is something to this Bigfoot thing. I was really excited. I was either going to see this thing. My heart was racing. I was a little bit nervous, a little scared. Then they stopped. And at that point, my wife says, "Hey, where are you?" So she texted me, and I texted her a picture back of this footprint. So she comes back and show her the prints, and then I showed her the video, and her eyes got as big as saucers, because at this point, she thought I was doing the wood knocking, because who didn't watch Finding Bigfoot? You knock on trees. We didn't do that. Something was up there. Don't know what. And at that point, my wife said, "Let's go climb up the kettle," which was good. We got off the beaten path, get to the top of this, where the sound was coming from, and there's a pretty thick tree that snapped about 7 feet in the air above me, and it made no sense because there were other trees taller than it there. Nothing was done by weather. This tree was 100% fresh, and I could almost swear I could smell the pine on it. That's how fresh it was. The only way you could really have done that is either machinery to get up there and pull that down, and there was no tracks or anything. It's surrounded by other trees. Or I was thinking, like a cartoon, a really big fat bear climbed to the top of it, and then the weight caused it to snap. Otherwise, we really don't have any explanation for that, and that was the beginning of my journey back in 2013, early 2014. And so I started to go through all my footage over the past 5 years and got a lot of people that went out with me over these past 5 years to actually put their testimony on film, and I created it's actually a 2-hour documentary called Finding Jay. And the title itself, just to explain that, is more when I go out in the woods, people say you're going to go look for Bigfoot, you're going to go find Bigfoot. But I've learned over these past 5 years that I don't think we're ever going to find Bigfoot. And I don't think my son Blake would find him, or my wife Katie would find him, but I do think at some point he will find us. So in essence, it's Finding Jay. It's a Bigfoot perspective. But I wanted to make this as even balanced documentary for the believers and skeptics alike, just to open up their minds a little bit, and with that maybe help educate people that there's more going on out there than our reality's led to believe. So maybe it's not a legend or a myth, maybe that is real. And you can actually find my documentary if you go to wpihuntstetruth.com. There's a link on there on the upper right hand corner. Click on it and it'll take you right to a PayPal site. It's $20, $5 for shipping. But so far the reviews have been good. I've been blessed with a few good reviews, even by the one who's taking this video of me right now. So I want to thank you guys for listening to my story.